Christ has risen, boys and girls. Our craft today is going to teach us how to make a card, and we're going to write our cross and do some watercolor or some coloring with markers, and we're going to write He has risen, and we're going to share this good news with our neighbors. So enjoy as we make it together. So before we get started, there are a couple things that you're going to want to gather, or after you're done watching the video, you want to collect before you start on your card. So I have coffee filters. If your parents have like coffee, they probably have coffee filters in their house. So you're going to want one of those. You're going to want markers. I didn't have markers at my house, which was really surprising, so I just pulled back out my watercolors. So you can pull out your watercolors or you can use markers. If you're going to use markers, you're going to want a spray bottle so that you can spray it afterwards, because you want the colors to blend together. So in my card, it's like a sunset, and so I picked the colors yellow, red, and orange to make my sunset. So you could do like blue and green and purple, whatever that looks like. And then you're going to want a piece of construction paper. I use black because that's what I have at my house. And then a marker, preferably a black one, and some glue. And then your imagination. Be creative. Now, if you're an older kid, I'm excited because in your card you can write a letter, you could write a verse, you could write something encouraging, because I'm going to challenge you guys to give this to a neighbor, to mail it to someone that needs some encouragement, to give it away, and to share the good news. For younger kids, I think the perfect way to do the card, especially if they're learning how to write, is to actually write out He has risen and take them through each letter. Write letter H, or you could just write Jesus. There's so much power in just writing the name of Jesus, and then parents can write He has risen above. But just giving them and empowering them to be a part of the creation of the card. Whatever that looks like, age appropriate wise, we're gonna have fun and we're gonna make our card. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I can't wait to see your cards. So step number 1, you are going to want to grab your coffee filter. I hope that doesn't blow away. So you're going to want to grab your coffee filter, and we're going to color this whole thing. And so if you're using markers, you're just going to color it with your markers, make it beautiful, and then you're going to take your spray bottle and you're going to spray it. But I have watercolor, so I'm going to take my watercolor and I'm going to paint mine. And so I always think of it as a beautiful sunset. It's a reminder, a sunset, first of all, no one can create but God. And so it is a constant reminder that God is with us, that He loves us, that He'll never leave us, and that He sent Jesus to save us. And so what a beautiful way to remember what God has done for us. So with this one, I decided that I'm going to use blue and green. I like when those colors mix together. They're really beautiful. So I'm going to use blue and green. You are going to want to, when you're all done coloring it and it's wet, you're going to want to let it dry. So that's the hard part, waiting, letting it dry. And while we're doing that, we can work on step number 2, which is writing He has risen, or the verse you want to write, decorating the outside of your card. What a perfect time to use to do that part. And so I am actively working on mine. I'm going to finish it up, and then as mine dries, I'm going to work on the next part. So I am all done with my coffee filter. I put some purple in there too because I thought it was beautiful with those colors. And so whatever colors you choose, but it's really wet, so it needs to dry. So I'm going to set mine right here. It takes a few minutes to dry. And so while it's drying, I'm going to grab my construction paper. And I have black, that's what I have at my house. And I am going to fold it in half first, like a hamburger, not a hot dog, hamburger. So we're gonna do it like that. We're gonna fold it in half, and I have like another piece of paper that I'm gonna put underneath my card. So this layer right here is white. So I have one of those sheets of paper because I want to be able to see the crosses, and since I'm using black paper, black is not going to show up on black. And so but the paper I have is really, really thin. So I have that. I'm going to glue that on one of the bottoms, one of the sides of my my card, like this. I'm going to glue that on. And then on the top part of my card, I'm ready to write something. And so you guys do some writing too, and I'll show you what it looks like. So I wrote Christ is risen. Oh, that's backwards for you guys, but it says Christ is risen, and I use different colors. I have paints at my house too, and so I use my paints, but you can use whatever you have at your house. So just be creative. And so now my my coffee filter is dry. It's all dry. And so we are going to fold it in half like that. And we are going to glue it now onto our piece of paper. So let me flip you guys around and show you what that. So there's my coffee filter, and I'm going to break it down just a little bit. I'm going to grab some glue. I'm going to glue it on just like that. And so you do see that it opens and shuts, but we're actually going to glue that shut. And after you're done gluing, we are going to draw 3 crosses. And the cross in the middle is the cross that Jesus died on. And so that is going to be the biggest cross we want to draw. And so I like to start with that one because it shows me how big I need to make it. So up, straight line, and then across. The other ones are going to be smaller. Right? There's my card, the inside of my card. And feel free to decorate the outside of the card whatever you want it to be like. You can say Happy Easter. You can color cool designs. But just remember, we're here to share the good news. And thank you guys for continuing to be the hands and feet of Jesus. Love you guys.